What's up, everybody?
Hello, everyone.
We are live because it's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Listen, we weren't here last Thursday. We'll talk about that in just a second after we do the intro. But we are glad to be here for another episode of Inside the Relationship. Listen, we're gonna get started. Do I need to move over? Do you need to move over? Are we centered? I don't know. Maybe you move over that way a little bit. But we'll figure that out while the intro is going. So, listen, buckle up, share this with somebody because we love when you're in the comments. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to start this episode of Inside
the
the Relationship. All right, let's hit it.
Let's go.
You're watching Inside the Relationship with Denise and Ollie.
So sit back, relax, and let's talk about all things relationships.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Inside the Relationship.
Inside the Relationship. Listen, if you're not familiar with who we are, we're Oliver and Denise. We're passionate about seeing relationships thrive. We're authors, speakers, and coaches in that space. And if you're not familiar with this show, you need to go back wherever you're watching this right now and catch some other episodes because the episodes are great. Some of them have guests, some of them don't. But the goal is to leave you with some information, some encouragement, some education in some cases, and some things that will allow you to walk out this marital journey that you are on, or relationship journey if you're not married, with some level of success. This show has some segments. We have a media mixdown, which is usually something, kind of off the wall, something different, but, we'll pull something out of it. And a question of the week comes after that, followed by a marriage minute and a last word. And so, listen, here's our ask. Whether you're watching this right now live or you are watching the replay, our ask is that you would just kindly hit the share button. That's it. Hit the share button. Share it wherever you are watching this right now, because you all, as our guest viewing, are the best part of this.
You make the show.
You make the show. All right. So listen, speaking of making the show, there's a show that we do on Saturday nights that we would love for you to also be a part of. And that is Have a Conversation After Dark. Those of you who are familiar with Have a Conversation After Dark know that this is where all the topics come out. Mm-hmm. The good topics, the crazy topics, the taboo topics, all of those come out in an effort for us to just spark conversation between you and your mate. So that is Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The other thing we want to share before we get into the show is that we have come up with a date for the next cohort of Make Love Better.
Make Love Better.
We are right now in week 5 of a 6-week cohort that we are doing with some couples. We're having a great time. Mm-hmm. And I think it's tomorrow we'll be posting the date. We're starting another cohort. This will be an open cohort in October. So if you want to be a part of this, where we are going through communicating on an extraordinary level, we're going through recognizing, managing, and recovering from conflict in record time. And we're going through how to build and maintain a holistic, intimate bond.
And we have a lot of fun doing it.
A lot of fun.
We're not lecture-y at all.
Not at all.
It's a fun 6 weeks.
If you watch the show, you already have a window into our personalities.
Yeah.
Right. And so we are the same in that space as well. I'd say the only difference is that there's some work that you got to do, as opposed to right now, all you got to do is watch us. But when you get in this with us, you're going to do more than watch and listen. You're going to do some work. And so we're looking forward to the next cohort. Now, let me just say this. We are only, and we haven't really decided on this, but we're only doing 8 to 10 couples.
Yeah. We'd like to keep it intimate.
Definitely not more than 10. And I was really considering cutting it to 6, to be quite honest. But my wife and I haven't talked about that yet. But I'm just saying that to say, and this is not some people do this just for the sake of scarcity. We're not doing that. We like to keep them small. The last couple cohorts have been 10 couples or less. And the beauty of that is the individuals in the cohort get to know each other.
Yeah.
They start to build trust with each other. They start to lean on each other, and they become a support group for each other.
Iron sharpens iron.
And it's harder to do that when there's 15. We've done bigger cohorts, and there's always a few couples that get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
Or they use that as an excuse to kind of fall into the background.
Right.
And we don't want that.
Yeah.
You got to get the best out of this. And so that, again, is the Make Love Better cohort. We're doing an open cohort. We will announce the date in October tomorrow. So if you're following us on social media, you will see the post go up about that. All right, listen, let's get into this show, man. We got a crazy media mixdown. It is so crazy. It's related to a media mixdown we've done before, but it's so crazy that I just had to play the video. All right, so I'm going to play the video for our media mixdown. Let's get into it. Okay, let me play the video for the media mixdown, and then we'll talk about it. All right, how about that?
All right, babe. You share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted.
I share these men for less because they're going to go cheat anyway.
They're going to go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Literally. Like, what I'm going to do? Stop it?
Yeah, we don't stop. I've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. You've been cheated on. The person who watching this, the person who comment about to get cheated on. If you've been cheated on, comment me.
You share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted.
So
I share these men for less because they're going to go cheat anyway.
They're going to go cheat anyway.
So if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat.
all right, so what's crazier than what you just watched is what I did not show was I did not scroll the comments, because while the video, there was comments on the other side. There are 206 comments on this video, and I kind of skimmed through them. You would not, well, maybe you would, but what I was about to say is you would not believe how many women in the comments agree with her.
Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. That speaks to where the women are, how they feel about themselves. That's what it speaks to me.
Carrie Ann is in the building. What's up, Carrie Ann?
It
Thank you for
speaks to
being
me.
here.
What's up, sis?
Carrie Ann said, "Hi, fam. They are insane."
Yeah. That to me speaks to what they think, how they feel about themselves, which is can't be that great. That's what it says.
And it also speaks to, and this is where I want to go with this. It also speaks to the fact that many people have bought into this belief that all men are going to do a certain thing, all women are going to do a certain thing, and that's not the truth.
Right.
Now, let me be clear. There are some jokers out there.
Oh yeah.
There are some guys who will take advantage, but I promise you, speaking as a man will do as much as he is allowed, and I'm using that word for shock value, to do.
Yeah, I agree.
If she gives me enough rope, meaning if she allows me to come and go, if she allows me to do whatever I feel like doing, if she allows me to not have to check in, if she allows me to be aloof and be away and be incognito, and then allows me to come back here and still play house with her, I'm going to do that.
I don't believe that you would do that, though.
I won't,
because that sounds like you want to do that. And I don't believe that you at this stage in our lives want to do that.
Okay, so let me clear that up. You're right. I've matured. And I'll talk about that in a second. But coming in the door unless a man has already gone through the process of kind of working on himself and really coming into his own and really understanding what he wants and understanding his value, just like a woman should, men are going to use the rope that's given to them. Now, I tell women this all the time. Women don't understand, and don't take this the wrong way, because it's not a power tripping kind of thing, but I'm going to use the word power for just the heaviness of it. Women do not understand the influence, I'll use that word, that they have. They don't understand the impact that they have. This woman right here is, I won't say solely responsible, but she is largely responsible for the direction that I have taken in my life. Not because she was overpowering, not because she was her Jamaican spicy self, like she don't be fooled. The nice little wonderful woman you see sit beside me will cut you. But that's not why I evolved. I evolved because she was very clear about what she needed. She was very clear about what her boundaries and parameters were. And she was very clear about the advantages of living within that. Yeah. So my choice was twofold. One, I step up to the plate, or two, I don't. And that you listen, ladies, you don't have to live like that.
Sure don't.
You really don't.
You sure don't.
You really don't have to live like that.
Yeah.
And here's the next thing. Don't be listen, it's crazy out here. I heard somebody say recently, and I love this phrase, that the dating pool has pee in it. I absolutely, me being the type of person I am, just love that. However, don't let that make you think that there ain't no good guys out here. Because there are. There are individuals who will respect you.
Yeah.
There are individuals out here who want to treat you like a queen. There are individuals out here who want to be faithful and men of integrity and men of provision and men of protection. They're out here.
Yeah. And I know that the next question to that statement is going to be, well, where they at? That's going to be the next question.
Listen, when you go to a store, I'm going to use myself as an example. We went to an event recently and I needed to buy some jeans for that event because I wanted my jeans to be really nice and crisp and dark black, right? So I went to one store. I could not find what I was looking for. So did I go home and not go to the event? Or did I go to another store? So to answer the question, where are they? I don't know where they are. But if they aren't where you are, then you need to go somewhere else. Plain and simple. Isn't that what we would do in every other area of our lives? If you go to a place and they don't have the food you want, you're going to go to another restaurant. You ain't going to starve. If you go somewhere and you're looking for a dress and you can't, and that dress ain't there, or that makeup, that particular brand of makeup you was looking for, you ain't going to go out looking crazy. You're going to go somewhere else. So that's not a valid excuse. Where are they? They somewhere. Go find them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. This is a whole different topic. Could be.
Stephanie's in the comments. Shout out to Stephanie in the comments.
She looking too.
Carrie Ann said, I think a lot of these women don't know
themselves enough to know how they want to be treated.
Yeah.
And I think that is true for a lot of this generation, because this generation, not everyone, but a good majority of them, they like social media is so big, and they just, a lot of them think that what they see on social media, that's what they want to aspire to.
Yeah. And
as a result of that, they are not learning themselves. So I agree 100% with you, Carrie
Stephanie said, period.
Ann.
And here's the thing too. We also live in an age where human values have been devalued and the bag has been elevated.
Yes.
So people will do anything now for the bag.
And sadly too, human values was not instilled in a lot of this generation.
Yeah.
Sadly. So the video, Yeah.
For those of you who might be coming in and out and don't know what we're talking about, I'm not going to replay the video, but I played a video for our media mixdown of a young lady in a podcast that was saying, she was asked the question, would you share your man as long as you're getting taken care of, basically? And she was like, I would share my man for less because they already out here doing it anyway. And we share them anyway because they cheat. And she was basically saying everybody gets cheated on. So if she's getting all of her needs met and taken care of, why not share? Because we can't stop them from cheating anyway.
Right.
Then she went on to say her man is probably cheating right now. That's what she said in the podcast. So that's
and what can I do about it?
And what can
I'm
I do
at
about
work?
it?
That was her response.
And that's the age that we're living in. And I just want to say, just from the bottom of my heart, you do not have to live like that.
Yeah.
You don't. And even if you have to give up the high life to get treated like a queen, I promise you, that is a great trade-off.
Yeah.
You can always come up later. You can't always get treated like a queen. So that's the media mixdown, guys. Samuel said, shout out to Samuel Russell in the comments.
Samuel. He said, what about the unaddressed trauma that so many come to the table with and they expect the guy to fix it? I think that's what he means.
Yeah, that
happens.
And sometimes that is a result of living like this for so long that when they finally figure out they need to turn a corner, their expectations are unrealistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
It happens a lot. It happens often.
It happens. Steph said, nope, tripping. Stephanie is out. She said, I'm out. Speak those things. They'll come true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta begin to prioritize our well-being. We have to also know our worth.
Yeah.
Right. Let me flip the other side of that. So you talked about where are they, right? And I gave the analogy of going to different stores. Here's the flip of that, right? Justin and I went to on one occasion we went out to Sterling, Virginia. And in Sterling, Virginia, many of the high-end dealerships are in Sterling, Virginia. So we went to see the McLarens, we went to see the Rolls Royces, we went to see a whole bunch of different, and we were just walking around the dealerships, right? Now, I cannot afford any of those cars.
Yeah.
So there is absolutely no reason outside of me just being a nice guy to strike up a conversation with the sales manager because I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. The fact that the car is so elevated in price and so prestigious and so great, I eliminate myself because my wallet can't take it. So if you are carrying yourself like a queen and you are carrying yourself like you have phenomenal value,
which you do,
individuals who can't step up to the plate won't.
Right.
They can't afford you. And I'm not talking about afford you like Birkin bags and all that. I'm talking about they can't afford to sit in your presence because your character is too high for them. That's it. Stephanie said, wow, without me. Yeah, we're going to have to go back at some point.
You were out gallivanting somewhere, Stephanie, already.
So that's the media mixdown. Just know, and this is not just for single folks, it's for married folk. Like you, listen, you're worth something.
Yeah.
And it's really okay to live like that.
Yes.
Justin's in the house. What's good, fam?
What's up, Just?
Justin said, man, you preaching, Pop. Yeah, so just know that, man. Just know that I'm not gonna play the video again, but just know that you don't have to have this mentality. And what was sad to me is that when I kind of skimmed through the 206 comments,
so many people
it was
agreed with her.
amazing how many of those 206 comments were like, girl, you right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah.
Somebody was said, all facts. Me too. That's why I'm polyamorous. Somebody said, you have a point. Somebody said, I don't mind sharing. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, we don't got to live like that, folks. We don't. You're worth too much. All right. So listen, that's our media mix down. If you have a media mix down that you want us to comment on, go ahead and either DM us wherever you're watching this right now, or you can shoot an email to the email that's on your screen, and we will go ahead and chop it up about that media mix down.
Absolutely.
We will do that. Let's get to a couple comments. Steph, did I put this up? Stephanie's, that's for you when you said she was out gallivanting. I refuse.
I know that's right, girl.
Indeed. Dre said, what did I miss? I'll tell you real quick, Dre, before we go to the
What's up, Dre?
Before we go to the question of the week. I played a video of a young lady on a podcast who was asked, would she share her man as long as all of her needs were getting met? And she said she would share her man for less because she's probably already doing that. And we share people all the time. Everybody cheats. Her man, she said on the podcast, her man is probably cheating right now. So if I'm going to get all my needs met, why wouldn't I share? Then she roped us all into a category. She was like, everybody's been cheated on, and then pointed at the camera, you getting cheated on right now. And I was just saying, listen, we don't got to live like that. Yeah. We're worth more than that. Yeah. We're worth more than that. But yeah, go back and check that out, man. Watch that video in the beginning of the show, man. I would like to hear because I like chopping it up with Dre. This is something me and Dre could chop it up about. So make sure you check that out. Samson, I totally agree with Denise about the roles of the internet and all of this. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We've created some monsters. We've normalized this kind of behavior. We've normalized the devalue of human interaction and relationship. And we've elevated the value of being able to look a certain way on social media. Yeah. So you'll allow your man to do whatever he feels like doing as long as you could post a Birkin bag on IG. Right. And that's what we've created. Yeah. So listen, let's get into the question of the week. I know we could stay there forever and ever, but
we could.
We got a question of the week we want to get into, so let's go ahead and do that right now. All right. The question of the week is,
what are some effective ways to communicate when both are stressed and it leads to snapping at each other? Ooh.
Hold on. Dre said, where's she at?
Dre, goodbye.
All right. Question of the week. What are some effective ways to communicate when we're both
are stressed and it leads to snapping at each other?
Great question.
I would say just because we've been there. We've been there
Indeed.
Often. And I think in times like that, you have to let your spouse know, I don't think it's a good time for us to talk to each other right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's communicating, believe it or not. I think we both need to just have a minute or however long we need to just chill out, give each other some space and some room, whatever is stressing us out. Hey, let's pray about it. And then let's just decompress. And however decompressing looks like to you. Maybe you both need space.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're like, okay, we're not going to address whatever has us stressed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just watch a movie instead.
Yeah.
But let's come back to the table at whatever time, XYZ time, and talk about whatever has us stressed. If you need a break or a breather from whatever has you stressed, do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because something has you stressed doesn't mean that you have to address it right away. Yeah. Although you probably would like to.
Yeah, the shotgun in me would like to.
Yeah, but if it's causing both of you to snap at each other,
mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Let's just take you might not even need more than a minute. You might need an hour. You might need a day. depending on what the scenario is. But if it's causing the both of you to snap at each other, in my mind, that's probably going to increase to more than just snapping at each other. So
Typically.
let's just take a step back, take a breath. Let's just change our focus. Let's go watch a movie. Let's go walking. Let's go walk the mall, whatever it is, just to take our minds away from that and just to, what's the word?
Decompress.
Decompress is another word I'm trying to think of. I can't think of it. Recalibrate. Just,
okay.
Yeah. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's good. Justin said communicate that you don't want to communicate.
Yeah,
Put that comment
absolutely.
up earlier.
Yep.
Dre said learn how to respond and not react.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I just realized, and I didn't plan this, I just realized that the last word when we get to the end of the show actually speaks to this. But let me just say this. You don't have to communicate when you're stressed.
Right.
Now, Justin said communicate that you don't want to communicate, right? There are ways that you can say, hey, you know what? And here's the best time to do this. What I don't suggest is that you try to navigate this and game plan this in the midst of you being stressed and trying to figure this out. But in the times where you're not stressed, right? Just game plan. Hey, listen, when we're both feeling some kind of way, here's how we're going to approach that. I'm gonna go down to the office and I'm gonna play a video game for 30 minutes, or I'm gonna go get in the shower, or I'm gonna go take a bath, or I'm gonna go walk around the block. Here's what we're gonna do to make sure that we create a space that allows us to de-stress, and then we can come back.
Because if you talk about it ahead of time, right? Now, when I see you downstairs playing a video game, you are communicating to me non-verbally.
That this is the time I need.
Right. That this is the time that you need. Because I always say this, communication is not always verbal.
Right.
So if we have this talk ahead of time and we set up these contingency plans, right? This is what I need when I'm stressed. I'm probably going to go play the video game. I'm probably going to shut myself in the bedroom and light a candle and read a magazine from front to back.
Right.
If we know all of these things, then when I see it happening, you're communicating to me that this is the time that you need just a moment to decompress or whatever. It's still communication, even though it's not verbal.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Stephanie says, yes, agreed. Say you need a second or a break. I teach my kids at work. She's a teacher all the time that it's okay to take a minute, but being mean to friends because of it is not right. And that happens in relationships. We snap at each other. We're mean to each other. It's okay to take a second to decompress.
It's okay.
Respectfully, of course.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
And create a game plan. We were just talking to a couple this week.
Yeah.
And just saying, hey, it's interesting, right? Every couple that sits with us, they always kind of look at me crazy when I ask this because they don't get the connection in the beginning. But I always ask them what they do for a living.
Yeah. What is their career?
The reason why I ask them what they do for a living is because I always take parallels around how they operate in their assigned role and how they operate at home.
Right.
There are very few jobs where you can just wing it and you can just go in there and just do whatever you feel like doing, and you ain't accountable to nobody. Right. You don't have to have no meetings. You don't have to have no plans. You don't have to have no 360 reviews. Very little places can you do that.
Yeah.
But we do that in marriage.
Yeah.
We be out here winging it and then wondering why we banging heads against each other. The same way you got to create a plan at work, create a plan at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same way you need some standard operating procedures at work, you need some at home.
That's right.
The same way you got to meet periodically to be like, hey, this didn't work. Let's figure out what will. Do that at home.
The same way you meet when everything is going good, but you just meet to just have a check-in.
Yeah.
Look, this is happening. This is happening. This is happening. We good? We're still good. Don't need to change anything. Okay, cool. Let's keep it moving.
Right. So now you create a game plan around what you do
Yeah.
when you're both stressed.
Yeah.
How do you navigate it?
Yeah.
Where do you move?
Yeah.
How do you shake? How do you pivot? Whatever it is you got to do to make sure you get through that. Just said, man, I'm going home to play COD for 4 hours. I hear you, bro. I hear you, my guy.
Oh,
He said,
mercy.
you already know why. You already know why. Shout out to Shasha in the comments.
Sasha, my sister.
What's happening?
What's up, girl?
You can be mad, but you can't be mean. I
mean.
like that. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. Stephanie said, love that.
Yeah, man.
Dre said, do I need to change jobs then? Listen, if you in a job where you can wing it, like that's a good look for you, but it still might not work at home. I know many of us wish we had a job where we could wing it, but listen, that's,
Yeah.
that's, we have to have the same level of intentionality. So to answer this question, what are some effective ways to communicate? Some effective ways to communicate sometimes are not communicating.
Yep.
Justin said it's crazy that y'all say this. We treat God the same way. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%, Just 100%. We do. So listen, to answer this question, sometimes an effective way is to actually not communicate. Sometimes an effective way is to say, hey, listen, this is probably not the best time for us to do this because we won't give it our best.
That's right.
So let's go do something else.
Somebody said about not reacting.
Yeah, it was Drake.
We'll be reacting. If we try to talk about this right now, my sentences are heightened, yours are heightened. I'm frustrated, you're frustrated. We're just going to react to the frustration. We're not going to react to the issue. And so it's just not going to work.
Yeah. 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 Stephanie said, chill, just. Yeah. So that's the question of the week. Listen, you and when we do the last word, there's some things I'm saving for the last word. Yeah, because I didn't even realize until we talked about this that the last word really ties into this. So when we get to the last word, we'll revisit this in a second. But hey, listen, if you got a question of the week that you want us to tackle, feel free to shoot us. Again, you can DM us wherever you're watching this, or you can send an email to us with your question, and we'll throw it up on the screen and talk about it and give our advice and opinion around it. All right.
Yeah.
So that was the question of the week. So for the Marriage Minute today, we're actually going to have a conversation, and we haven't talked about, well, maybe we've talked about this in the past. I think it might have been a Saturday night conversation.
Okay.
But let's get into the Marriage Minute, because I would love to hear, we got some folks in the comments, so I would love to hear what you guys have to say about our Marriage Minute coming up.
Never miss your opportunity to say nothing.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way to go.
Yes.
Like sometimes that is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? So listen, let's get into this Marriage Minute, because we would love to hear we're going to have the conversation in front of you, but we would love to hear what you think about this as well. Let's get into it. What you say?
I'm not sure about it.
You're not sure about it? All right, let's talk about it. So here's the Marriage Minute, and the Marriage Minute is actually posed as a question. The question is this: is your spouse responsible for meeting all of your needs? That's part A of the question. Part B of the question is, if your answer is no, how/who should meet the needs that your spouse can't?
I think that it's a little unfair to expect your spouse to meet all of your needs. I kind of feel like that's a lot of pressure for your spouse.
Okay.
And if your spouse cannot meet all of your needs, I think that, you just got to go back to God and be like, what do I do with this need I have that my spouse seems to not be able to meet, and get direction from there.
Okay.
Therapy as well. And maybe you should be trying, maybe it's something that your spouse cannot help you with. And maybe it's therapy. Maybe you just need to pray to God about it. Maybe it's something that you can help yourself over. So yeah, I don't know. I think all of your needs, a good amount of them, yes, maybe so.
Okay.
But I think that the expectation of all of my needs being met by you
Mhm.
is, if I think that,
Mhm.
then I'm setting myself up to be disappointed.
Okay. And your who or how is to go to God.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin said, I'm here for the comments with popcorn emoji.
What
So
do
again,
you think?
we're having this conversation in real time. So this is not rehearsed. This is not anything we've kind of thought through. So I'm literally thinking out loud. So my quick shotgun shock value answer is
Yes.
your spouse is responsible for meeting all your needs.
Mm.
Now that I've said that for shock value, let me double back a little bit. I do believe that as a man, there are certain things around my development as a man
Mm-hmm.
that you can't provide.
Right.
There's a certain level of
Absolutely.
camaraderie that has to come from other men.
And the same thing for women.
And for women,
Yeah.
right? There's a certain level of, we may not call it vulnerability, but there's a certain level of whatever we would call vulnerability
Mm.
that can only happen between that male connection,
Agreed.
that male
Agreed.
bonding
Yep.
space.
It's a certain kind. I
Right.
agree.
Same thing with women.
Yeah.
Right. So in that case, then the answer would be no,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't be able to provide that for me.
Yeah.
You can provide it for me in the way that you would provide it, but not in the way that another man would.
And I think that your initial answer of yes
Mhm.
is because we want our spouses to
Mm.
be the ones
Okay.
to meet all of our needs. And so, of course, we just want to say yes. Like
Mhm.
it should be that way, is what we think. It should be that our spouse meets all of our needs because we love them so much. And why can't they, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Give me everything that I need. And
Mhm.
but that's the quick shock value answer, because we want that to be the case.
Mm. Okay.
But it's not realistic. So that's not the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann said, I agree with Nisi 100%. Dre said, is it possible for your spouse to meet all your needs but can't fulfill them all?
Meet all of your needs but not fulfill them all.
Unpack that, Dre.
Yeah, like give me some more on that.
Unpack it. I think I know where you're going, but unpack that. So here's the reason why this is even the marriage minute to begin with. Okay. And still, please give your your thoughts in the comments around this. But here's the whole reason why this question is being posed. This question is being posed because the thing that we recognize quite often when we are sitting with clients that we're serving is that they are clueless about what the needs are.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Meaning that they are clueless as to what their spouse's needs are. Yeah.
They don't even know.
Yeah.
We see that so often, which is why and I'm kind of give away something that we do. There's a needs exercise that we do. A typical couple works with us for about 8 weeks. That's the minimum we recommend. Somewhere around week 4 or 5 or so, we start digging into this needs assignment. And I don't have a statistic off the top of my head, but I would dare say close to 70% of the folk that we work with don't even know what their spouse needs. They don't know what the emotional needs are.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 70%. That's a little high.
You think it's high? You think that's high?
No, I think it's lower.
You think it's lower than 70%?
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's more than 50 though.
You think so?
Yeah, because you got to factor in the clients that I work with by myself. Because there's clients you and I work with together. There's clients I work with by myself. So factoring in both of those,
that's true.
It's in the 60s or more.
That's true.
And that is why we pose this question, because the marriage minute is this: you have to really do some work around identifying and flushing out
Yeah.
your spouse's most important emotional needs.
Yeah.
Like that is crucial
Yeah.
to the success of your marriage.
Mhm.
Now,
You got it, Just. You got it.
yes, absolutely. Without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt. I got you. So, and it doesn't stop with identifying and flushing out.
Mhm.
There's some execution.
That's right. It's not enough to just know it.
Right. Because I would say, let's say it's 50%
Mhm.
that just have no clue.
Mhm.
I would say there's another 20% that they know. They just for some reason ain't doing it or don't feel like they should do it or don't want to do it.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dre said, I can be the
the
person.
person you need on and out situations. However, my limitations can cause undesirable results.
I get that. I get that. So here's the thing, Dre. Here's something else. And this again, wow, this again is going to line up with the last word. But here is something else that I find, and you can back me up on this if you agree. I believe we find often that couples do not realize that they can negotiate.
Mhm. Mhm.
So and we went through this.
Yeah.
So here's a great example that we're going to take out of our playbook.
Mhm.
There was a particular need when we did this, because we did this needs exercise, and it was
Yeah.
a game changer for us
It was.
years ago when we did it.
Yeah.
One of the things that Nisi outlined, once we flushed it out, I was like, listen, babe, I want to do this for you, but these few things here that you say are components of fulfilling this, I can't in good conscience
Tell you
say that
I'm
I can
gonna do it,
consistently do.
knowing that I can't. Yeah.
So now the question becomes, babe, what should I do in the event that I can't do these things right here?
Right.
So you plan some contingencies. This is the
Yeah.
same thing you would do at work.
Yep. Yep.
If there's something that you like, hey, you know what? I don't think this is going to really work out like that in with these two steps. Okay, so what are we going to do then?
Mhm.
But we don't do that. We just like, well, I can't do it. And now you're unfulfilled and you feeling some kind of way. Now you treat me some kind of way because you unfulfilled. And now I'm reacting to how you treat me.
Treating.
And now
Yeah.
we just dig in this hole.
Yeah.
When we could have just been like, hey, babe, you know what? 6 of these 12 things,
Mhm.
can we negotiate?
Yeah.
Because I want you to be fulfilled, but I can't. This space doesn't allow for me. I don't have the capacity.
I think it's important too to be able to say that to your spouse. Like, I know that I cannot
Right.
fulfill. I know I'm not going to be able to meet all of what this need entails.
Mhm.
You should be able to say that to your spouse.
You should be able to say that.
And I think it's important
100%.
to be able to say that to your spouse because, I think a lot of times couples say yes
Mhm.
to everything if they are presented with needs,
Yeah.
only because knowing they can't fulfill it, but they say yes only because they don't want the backlash of, well, you're supposed to meet my needs, and how can you not? What kind of person would not be able to meet that need, and why can't you fulfill everything that it says, and da 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 da.
Yeah.
So they just say yes.
Listen, man, when I'm well, I do this with the couples too, but especially when I'm working with men solo.
Mm.
This is a statement I say all the time. Bro, don't play yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't have the capacity, let's walk through how we navigate that so that you can negotiate your space.
I think it's just easier sometimes to just,
Yeah, it is.
especially if you have the type of spouse where it's just like rah 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 rah, and it's not necessarily always the wife.
True.
True. Just you don't want to hear that rah 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 rah.
Yeah.
You always. Don't nobody want to hear that all the time.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
just yes and keep the peace. Yes, I'll figure it out.
That's true.
I'll figure it out.
That does happen. That's
Yeah.
the non-confrontational communicator.
I'll figure it out.
But listen,
It's dangerous.
there's more damage on the back end of doing that than there is to say, hey, babe, can we sit down and negotiate this?
Yeah.
Can we talk this through? And here's the thing. There's a way to approach that.
Right.
So you can't just be like, nah, I can't do
I
this.
can't do
Nah,
that.
I can't do
Yeah,
that.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
And this is strategy, folks.
Mhm.
You got to learn strategy. I went to her and was like, listen, babe, I want you to be satisfied in these areas.
Mhm.
Can I share with you candidly, openly, and with some level of vulnerability where I fall short,
Yeah.
so that we can game plan how we can still win in these areas, even with my lack of capacity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So now she knows I ain't trying to dismiss what she's saying. I ain't trying to blow off what she's saying. I really want to be able to do this. But here are, like, to use Dre's word, my limitations. And that's the reason why we brought up this question,
Yeah.
so that we could flesh it out in front of everybody, because that is, I'm gonna tell you, that is an area that many of us were not. We were taught. We were taught role execution.
Right.
That's what we were taught.
Yep.
We were taught, as a man, you must do this, 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 and this. As a woman, you must do this, 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 and this. We were taught role execution. We were not taught how to identify, flesh out, and meet needs.
Yep.
Because some of those needs that you need to meet for your spouse sit outside of your quote unquote role execution duties.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we were not taught how to navigate that successfully.
Right.
Now, shameless plug. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
And
We are here for that.
thankfully, because of the Lord Jesus Christ, because I'm not going to take any credit, thankfully, we're pretty good at it.
Mhm.
So if that's something, you need some assistance with, you need to holler at us. Dre said, yo, my wife joined the live. I gotta go. All right. Got you.
I gotta go.
Got you. So listen, that's the marriage minute. That's the marriage minute. And maybe one day we'll talk about this. So just to be fair to the clients that we work with who pay us to go through this process, I don't want to give too much away, but I do want to say this. You have to get in a space where you can be taught how to identify and flush out with some specifics.
Yeah.
Your most important emotional needs.
Yep.
You need to know the difference between your regular needs, your everyday needs, your needs of comfort, as they're called,
Mhm.
and your most important emotional needs. You need to know the difference between those two and why one is more important than the other.
Yeah.
So that's our marriage minute for today. We're going to go ahead and get it. We're going to go ahead and end this show, which really everything kind of flows right into what we're about to say.
Yeah, so the last word flows right after this.
The question, everything goes with the last word. So let's go ahead and jump into that right now. So the last
word, what you got?
Last word is simply this. Your marriage, think of your marriage as a movie. Imagine me telling you you can write any movie you want to write, and I give you a blank piece of paper, and you start writing the script out for your movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give you any parameters. I didn't tell you it had to fit a certain mold. All I told you was that at the end of this movie, you got to be like, yeah, this is dope.
Yeah.
To me.
Mm-hmm.
Think of your marriage as a movie.
That's right.
You can script this. It does not have to look like anybody else's.
That's right.
It does not have to fit in any marital mold.
Yeah.
Those don't exist.
Right.
Now, are there some components that you need? Yes. So if you think about a cake, whether it's a pound cake, whether it's a pineapple upside down cake, whether it's you name whatever your favorite cake is,
they're all going to have flour.
There are going to be some components that you need.
Yeah.
In every cake.
Yeah.
But if you don't like red velvet, what I look like stuffing pineapple upside down your throat, and you mad and you angry and you bitter. Nah. But that's
If
what we
you
do
don't-
with our marriages.
Yeah. If you like red velvet.
If you like red velvet, right?
Yeah.
So just understand this: you have the ability. You and your mate have the ability to write the script of your marriage.
Mhm.
There are 2 questions that we ask every couple. That every couple we've ever worked with
Mhm.
gets asked these 2 questions. First question is, what does your ideal marriage look like? That is an open-ended question. What does it look like? The second question is, are you willing
Are
to
you
do
willing to do whatever it takes
whatever it takes to get it?
to get that ideal marriage?
You can script this, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't want to be stressed while you're communicating, script how to not do that.
Yeah.
If you want to be loving on each other and you don't want to be fussing and arguing and fighting, script how to do that.
Mhm.
If you want to make sure that all your needs are being met, script how to do that. Don't wing it.
Don't wing it. And don't wait until you're in conflict to
Yeah.
try to script all of this.
Don't wing it. Don't wing it. Carrie Ann said, I love that. We, the couple, control the narrative.
That's absolutely correct.
There it is. 100%.
That's right.
100%. And the beauty of it is that your cake don't got to look like mine.
Mhm.
Do you need to know how to communicate? Yes. Do you need to know how to resolve conflict? Yes. Do you need to know how to build and maintain intimacy? Yes. But your marriage don't got to look like mine.
Yeah. That's right.
So get out your proverbial pen and pad and
Mhm.
start writing in your success.
That's right.
That's it. That's the last word for today. So listen, thank you, all of you that are in the comments. We appreciate you. Thank you for being the best part of this show. We're going to get out of here. Before we do, just know that we would love to have you join us on Saturday night for Have a Conversation After Dark.
Yes.
We would love to have you there. That is a 10 p.m. show. It's late night for a reason. If you don't know what that reason is, go back and watch some other episodes. The other thing is there is a cohort starting in October. We will announce it. We will post it tomorrow. We're on week 5. Matter of fact, as soon as we turn the camera off, we're jumping into the week 5 mastermind for this closed session that we're doing right now. But in October, we will do an open session of Make Love Better, the 6-week group coaching experience. Many of this stuff we talk about as it relates to communicating on an extraordinary level, as it relates to recognizing, managing, and recovering from conflict in record time. And as it relates to building and maintaining a holistic, intimate bond, we dig into those things in those 6 weeks. And we have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good information. And couples leave there confident about their success.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if that's something you want to be a part of, wherever you're following us, make sure that you, if it's Instagram, Facebook, you will see a post about that tomorrow with the October date and the link where you can go and register. All right. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was another episode of Inside the Relationship. I think that was a pretty good episode.
It was a good episode. Always.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much again for being the best part of this. And again, remember, it's your movie.
Script it how you want it to play out. Script it. It's your movie. You're the director. You're the writer. Script it how you want it to play out. You and your spouse. Script it.
Listen.
Doesn't have to look like anybody else's. It's your movie.
That's it. So go forth and be great. Create that award-winning blockbuster of a marriage. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great rest of your Thursday if you're watching live or wherever you're watching. And we'll see you next week. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Blessings on you.